Hello, my one true divas. I hope this video finds you well. This is take number 3. I've been at it for 20 minutes, but my stupid phone has no more stupid storage, so I'm making a stupid video on my stupid computer. I just want to talk about my little album, my little self-titled album that I posted August 4th, 2023. So guys, this one, I was like, I have to make it good. I made Singing Nettle. It was so annoying to make because I was just forcing myself, and it sucked. And then I made CD-ROM because that was fun, and those little singles, and I was like, okay, I can make something good. I just can't force myself, and I have to just like use what I naturally make to make it, to concoct into an album. So the album cover is so cunty. I wanted it to be grand. I wanted it to include like industrialism and nature at once, and it freaking does. And it freaking rocks. Look at those plants. Look at that building. Look at those train tracks. Impala Vaca motif. I'm an accomplished writer, author, and singer-songwriter. And yes, trains are a freaking motif in my music, and it rocks. I love a good train. I get the autistic people. They get it. They flip and get it. I look good on it, even though my hair is longer now. Has 17 songs, runs for, how long is the album? Jarvis, how long is the album? The one music video for it, all our last times together, rocks. It made the homegirls in it cry, and, you know, Ethel Kane is in Paris. Wow, I won't be there. Wait, how long is it? I'm checking on Spotify because it just tells you. It is 59 minutes long. So I'm getting close to an hour. Stinging Nettle, if I'm not wrong, was an hour and 21 minutes long because it just made the songs too long. This one I was like, let's make it short and quick, let's make it sweet, let's make it sexy, let's make it fun. So goes from totally electronic to totally acoustic in the 17 songs. I'm saying I'll go through them quickly. This video will be an hour long. It just will, because I'm alone in my room, haven't seen anyone today, and whenever I record it, I spend at least 7 minutes on song 1, and there's 17 songs. So let's just say the devil made me do it, because, talking about yourself is a drug, and I'm addicted to it. Not as addicted as I am to fentanyl, though, which is actually a real issue I need to tackle. So, in Impala Vaca, the first song, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make like a song that spoke about myself in a fun way, but that was good enough. It had to be good, because otherwise, I have a song to this stage name. I was like, if this song sucks, I have to change stage names, because what will show up, And I did good. I did good. My inspiration was Pretty Bones by Yo, and I like that it doesn't sound like it, but I really tried to do as similar as possible for both the lyrics and the the instrumentals, and I love it. It's my favorite song of mine. Oh yeah, my faves and least faves from the album. Some flopped. Let's be honest. Lesbians. Calvi V2, Rav 4, although my one friend Ty loves Rav 4, and I Miss You. Hashtag regret, hashtag me, myself, my path, but no, I don't know what I was doing. I could not tell you. But there's something there. This is a good album. So my body's like a black hole. I'm dissociated. I'm sick and twisted. I'm far away from myself. I feel like a burden. I feel like I'm not even a person at this point. I'm antimatter. Bury me in idols. I'll never be an idol. Just bury me in them. Kind of emo. Do you know what emo is? It means emotional. But I'm singing like a choir because my mind is like a rag doll. I'm just being straightforward here, setting the tone for the album. I'm singing because I'm sad. Singing equals sad, no happy song. The one almost happy song is Falling Asleep in My Lover's Arms, and then it takes a sad twist. So, God forbid, the enemy's won. Septum and Your Scalpel, that sounded like fun, and I loved the S consonant. I don't want to fight, no. I'm very laid back in this song. I'm very just an observer. I'm just a cute girl who doesn't really know what's up in her life. don't move too far. Can't wait to see your life. So, it was it was after my finals. I was just in my room alone. My friends were out doing something else. I couldn't be there. And I was going crazy when I wrote the song, and I felt very isolated, but it was definitely at a hopeful point. I was just like, I felt so blessed that I could be in my friends' lives, and I knew that I would get to see them unfold. So I was just like, don't go too far, because I'll see it unfold. Just don't go too far. Suicidal ideation in the kitchen, it's a decent way of living. Now, as a listener, you're supposed to go, stop. It's not a decent way of living. Wow. But let's play with narrative voice here. Say I think or feel like it's a decent way of living when really it's not. Wouldn't that be crazy for me to say? In the closet, what's not clicking? It's of paramount importance that you log onto the forum. Log onto Kiwi Farms right now. I'm kidding. But I'm just like imagining myself just tucked away in a little closet, clicking on a little forum, because whenever I'm doing bad or whenever I'm doing good, just all the time, apart from when I'm with others, actually, I'm always like using like media or just being online as some sort of like coping mechanism to just distract myself 24/7. So I'm like, ooh, if I'm doing real bad, let me pull up Joe Josefa Bed Wars and CPK videos, or Sophia Nygaard mixing nail polishes together. Not actually that. JK. Joe Josefa dog video. No, neither. Restricted living in a parallel opinion. This is about like the ways in which abuse and trauma can alter your perception of yourself and the world. Like if you grew up in an unsafe environment, then you think of the world as unsafe all the time. In a room, a hollow prison. Once again, I'm zooming out. We go from room to prison. I meant for prison to sound like prison, and the prism is supposed to be like the glass of like a lens of like just describing the way in which I look at everyone's mind, including my own, under such detail. And this part's about my relationship. You were not allowed the anger, now you're left alone to listen. Cry to me, I am a parent. I wanted parent to sound like a parent, and also just a parent. Recognizing the way in which I've, replaced like a parent or made up for unfulfilled needs in my relationship. Then feeling dissociated, I'm looking feasible, feeling functional. It's so habitual, this holy ritual. I feel like this all the time. I just look like I'm feasible. I look like I could exist. And I feel like I function because I'm functioning, so surely I must feel like it. And then, again, my body's like a black hole, bearing me in idols, singing like a choir because my mind is like a rag doll. Septum in your scalpel, I don't want to fight, no, don't move too far, I can't wait to see your life. And then, all of this is me despite you. I'm addressing my abuser directly here because I know that he has access to all my songs and music, so I was definitely being mindful of that in the album, trying not to hold back because I'm being so beyond extremely vulnerable. Although I've made more vulnerable songs since then, which sounds impossible, but I'm nervous. I don't want to release them. I'm nervous. All of this is me despite you. My trauma didn't help me. What happened to me didn't inspire me. It didn't make me greater. It made me worse. It made me hurt more. It made me uglier. It made me feel a little broken. So, what my accomplishments have nothing to do with what's happened to me, and I go back and forth about feeling defined by it and feeling like it means nothing to me. But here I'm saying, actually I never feel like that. Here I'm saying that this album, what I've made, my craft, my poetry is, proof of like strength. It's like a, you know it's what I've made despite what's happened to me. Open up your mouth and see what's inside you. I'm saying, let's get real, babes. To me, the listener, whoever. I want to be the light at the end of my tunnel. I want to live on my own. I want to be the reason I have hope. I don't want to keep getting hope from others in life. I don't want to stay dependent. I want to make something of myself, for myself, which I'm definitely still working on. I want to be the reason you switch off the channel. I want to be seen for my own. I want to mean something to someone, and I want to mean more than just a song. I'm talking about like the song is an object, which I do in the second song, To a Child. Now I want to like really do a smack dab because I'm addressing him directly here, and because I know he listens to my music and like has my stuff. So that's what this song is. It's the song that Paul hasn't listened to yet because it makes him too nervous, I guess, because I told him that's what it was. And in this song, it's definitely like a moment in which the song is an object in itself that helps me. Like after having made it and stuff, I can listen to it and it's really a moment where I'm making what I need to hear. Like, I don't know another song like this that's this direct and this upfront, and I needed to hear it. I needed to remind myself of this message, I guess, and address him directly because I couldn't just make a whole album like it's nothing when I know he's listening. How could you do that to a child? Do that to a child. Look me in the eye, don't shy away. Um, I'm taking control of the narrative here. He doesn't get any say in what I'm writing about. I debated on including a voice memo of him talking in this song, but when I tried to listen to it, to put it in the song, it triggered me just so beyond that I couldn't. Um, how could you do that to a child? Do that to a child. Don't shy away. Like, don't be ashamed. This is what you've done. This is what happened. I'm saying it. How could you? I mean, that's just a question. Because you did, so what led to that? Now I don't know what I looked like. Like now I have basically amnesia for the first like 12 years of my life, feeling unsafe for the rest of my life. How do you sleep at night? Like how are you okay with yourself? Like I know he's alive, so how and why? Um, how do you sleep at night, but you sleep during the day? I know all your habits. I'm just going insane. Just the extent to which the body remembers and the extent to which I could imagine it. I mean, he lives in a part of my brain. A version of him lives in a part of my brain because due to like to make myself feel safe enough, I had to learn everything about him and everything that could be useful. So I know he sleeps during the day. I know all your habits. I'm just going insane just to fix you, just to stay in that place. Um, I was just a kid, and what did I try so hard for? To fix him. I tried so hard, and in the end, I just get to stay in that place. Ivory crocodile mouths and panther carpets. How do I break my own way? That's some creepy ass decor. That's some real movie shit. Because why do you have a crocodile made out of ivory? Like that's some fucked up shit. And then a panther carpet with the head still on. Like that's fucking insane. How do I break my own way? I gotta be my own person. How could you do that to a child? Don't shy away. I don't care why you did it. Little broken, worthless maggot. I'm acting chill about it, but it's not chill. It's not chill. I know that you love me. I know that you want me. Everything you do is just a way to get through me. Um, then if it wasn't for my sister, I would tell you to end your life. If it wasn't for her, I would tell you do it for me. Turn on the car in the garage and breathe to it. Let all the smoke take you somewhere you'll see through it and fade away finally. That's self-explanatory. That's not really a metaphor for anything. Then Calvi V2, Calvi V1, I wanted to make it so much more grandiose. I wanted to feel like a sunrise. I wanted to feel like the song was this big rising thing. Julian has, my number one fan, has the lyrics and the song, the other one. And in a way, it's low-key better, but like, I was really going, this is one of the first songs I made it for the album. I mean, not this one, Calvi V1, but I guess the lyrics for it I reused, so kind of. And I'm talking about this time that was extremely important to me where I went on a little camp to Corsica, and I was really young, and we would sneak out in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. and watch the sun rise over the mountains. And it was such a special moment to me because I think I remember just feeling so free in a way I had never felt before. And I think I then knew that there was more to life than what I had been going through. God, I want to grow wide. There's a goodness inside in your adamant eyes, although I don't know why. I want to be more than myself. There's a goodness inside all of us. you're adamant. I'm trying to capture that youth, that drive. Your eyes are adamant, and I don't know why. Then this is about Jace. I think one day I'll be happy with you. It almost looks easy. I'm being hopeful. Um, you should never feel guilty. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just so overcome by shame. It just has nothing to do with what's actually going on. Then I woke up with my heels in the sea. I was facing the summer breeze. I woke up because this definitely marks the moment where my memory starts. I mean, my memory starts a bit before that, like that year, but yeah, I basically woke up there because it just feels so weird to not have a memory from before being like 11, 12. Like, I basically woke up there with my heels in the sea, facing the summer breeze. I was free. I was finally not on my knees. It was 4 a.m. and I was in my early teens. On the coast of Corsica, of course I'd see a change. The environment was so beautiful. How could I not? How could I not see a change in myself, in the world, in others? I was seeking out that beauty and I found it. A deranged story coming to a final stage. It wasn't a final stage, it was just like another stage. Um, but I didn't know that then. It definitely felt like a final stage. It felt like, because that summer I asked for help, I guess, and it worked a little. So that was, it felt like a real change in that moment. As the sun rose pink over the mountain range, it illuminated me and made a yellow page. I didn't put the lyrics that go after that. It illuminated me with a yellow page, and then it goes for the pictures of my life to lay in bloom on. Like that's on the other version. Just like a page in my diary. I remember Cave Town talking about forever. Like your life is a diary, and you had to choose what pages you put in it, and that definitely marked me as a kid. So yeah. It made a yellow page in my diary. It made a happy page for me for the pictures of my life to lay in bloom on. We split, we split, we split. Who gives a shit? That means nothing. I could stay awake. Um, oh, I don't know. And then chorus again. I woke up with my heels in the sea. I was facing the summer breeze. I'm wearing saturation when it goes down because nothing really hurts now. Nothing really hurts now. It was still a difficult moment in my life. I still wasn't feeling good. I mean, still it implies that I am now, and that's debatable, but I wasn't feeling good. Um, yeah, let's just move on to Rave 4. Now, this is a song about my sister that I told her is about her, and this is my only song in French. I made this within the context of the Concours Florent, or the Cours Florent concours, which is it was like a 1 week long like singing songwriting class that I took. I was so lucky to be able to take it. Definitely I guess learned a thing or two, but the level was like a bit below where I was, so it didn't help that much. But the song had to be in French, and my inspiration for this one was Moira Gint by Tim Dupe, which is an incredible French song, my favorite song in French. It is so beyond good. It is describing this girl, and she's just so complicated, but I guess even though it's written by a man, feels good. I don't know. Calvi V2 and To a Child don't have that direct of inspirations, although I was listening to a bit of hyperpop when making Calvi V2. 8485 is like my favorite hyperpop artist if they could be described in such like a poor term, but I guess I'll translate the lyrics in English. Your black curls of nicotine, like my sister has curly black hair, curly dark hair. You like roll your own cigarettes at night. You like look healthy, I guess. You like swing about in your flowery dress, in your clubs and in your pain. Um, yeah, just describing her. That's what she was up to at the time, and I guess what she's kind of still up to. I've always found her to have such a deep, resounding beauty, and I'm trying to encapsulate, her pain and her pleasure and her beauty in one, which sounds so fucking corny, but like, you get it. I'm just describing her, whatever. Your old dirty heels, sorry for the siren, which carried you, got bored. This is kind of a little more nuanced, I guess. It's just, she's had a lot of friends that have gone in and out of her life, and yeah, I'm describing like some ugly shoe. I'm definitely trying to make it sound ugly and trying to make it sound lived in, like her environment, like she she feels like such a real living person. I can never really know what her next move is. And your plastic chains were torn from your past. Yeah, she always finds a way to make something good out of any situation. She's got a perseverance that I can't really think of anyone that has, and I really look up to her for that. Her, yeah, just her little jewelry. I love every little thing about her, and yeah, the little, like she always looks so beautiful and dresses so nicely. So I'm just doing a little note to that. Pretty like the day, like the, which is like a saying in French, like the street which hurt you, which you forgive, to absolution. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it's like sibling behavior to look out for her and to never feel like she's really doing enough for her own well-being. But I'm sure, like she does like feel the same way back. It's just no matter what she goes through, what she chooses, I never feel like it's good enough for her, and like I always feel like she deserves better, and like she forgives everyone too much. Um, Olive regrets on your shoulders, which are cursed. She has such a kind soul that never really deserved what came to her, and I wish we weren't born into the family we were born into because it feels like a curse. And so then I go, your look in the RAV4, which is like RAV4, which is a model of car, which my mom had and drove us around in our childhood, devours me and tells me that everything is to be beaten and that everything is cursed. Um, just kind of thinking of her like looking at me in my mom's car, the old one that she doesn't have anymore, and just giving me such a look that communicates a million things. You know, it was it was rough growing up together, and it definitely hurt our relationship. Just yeah, sometimes with just one look she could tell me a million things. Although we did get along as kids, and of course get along now. Yeah, we we didn't have it easy sometimes. Old fruit of your love, like old product of your love, kind of your your um your black, like I'm picturing mascara flowing down, but like dégouliné is I don't know how to say that, just kind of like rubbed down, I guess. The white that becomes red and the memory of your peace. White that becomes red. I'm picturing skin blushing and yeah, just 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 pain, I guess. Some lyrics are meant to evoke more of a feeling than say something profound. I guess the feeling feels profound. I'm thinking of her in this context, and maybe crying in the car, maybe her mascara going everywhere. Um, yeah, then I say that again. My picture on your face, no, my face stuck on your phone. No, sorry, my face on your phone, stuck in your regrets. Um, I think that both of us regret the way things panned out with each other. Um, I regret some of the choices she's made, and she definitely regrets some of the things I've done. Um, a pile of lava and concrete, I guess, so ugly and unreal. Um, you drowned yourself in your sorrow, and you suffered from it more than I did. She's 4 years older than me, and that's 4 extra years of being a kid, I guess, with those parents that she suffered through, and I didn't. In the room right next to you, and I forgot all of it. I know she also has a lot of amnesia, so it's not that simple. Why your forgiveness? Because now nothing matters. Why is nothing good? Why abandonment? I guess I'm asking questions to her and also thinking about her response and asking what she's asking. Um, like, why do you forgive so much? Maybe because, like, just being depressed, and why is nothing good? Why abandonment? Maybe that's what she's asking. Then you invent yourself and lose yourself in a party like no other. Um, Once again, her lifestyle. Then again, the chorus, your look at me in the Rav 4 devours me and tells me that everything is to be beaten and that everything is cursed. Old fruit of your love, you're rubbed out black, the white that becomes red, and the memory of your peace. And there's a moment where I switch to it. Well, no, that's after. But first, I say, I will meet you in a path of soot, and we will understand each other. I hope that our relationship goes better. I hope our relationship um, reaches new heights, and I think that we've met each other in very dark spaces before and understood each other then. And I hope that, I guess I'm being negative in this one, but I hope when we cross each other's paths very closely like that again, it'll be in positive ways. Forgive my hands, God, what have I done? And then my look, your look to me in the Rav 4 devours me and tells me that everything is to be beaten and everything is cursed. And then I go, I am the fruit of your love, the product of your love. You're rubbed out black, the white that becomes red in the memory of your peace. I think I'm kind of the memory of her peace. I think I know how much I matter to her now. I know how much I help her on the day to day. And here I'm just saying, I think with forgive my hands, I'm kind of feeling a little responsible for her and feeling like, maybe if I had been better, maybe she would have been better. And I am the fruit of your love. I am the result of so much help that she's given me, and I am also the pain that she's lived through. But I know that's a bit grim. Next one, happy one, 5 by Impala, Zach's favorite. So this one I'm talking about abuse, and it's crazy. It's crazy. 5 now 5 and 4 are like, I'm gonna sound like some bum DID bitch, but are some like kind of characters that I made up in my mind to like characterize different aspects of myself when I was really going through it. And there were moments way younger as a kid where I felt like I just was absolutely no one, and I was completely just swallowed whole by what I needed to be in that moment. And I used 5 and 4 to tell myself, well, I'm embodying this thing, this character that I guess I'm acting like, because nothing I did felt like something I would do, and I guess it still kind of feels like that to this day. But that's what 5 is to me, and I named them because of like the school year that it was. So yeah, 5 is more of like a root. I wanted to capture the essence of 5. I wanted to capture that be like meaty essence, that kind of like bloody, like it's all about like making the best out of a situation and feeling like you're so close to danger and you're so close to death that it's just kind of beyond, and it's kind of just like, well, you're just losing my fear for death and losing that distance that you usually have between yourself and danger. Just being so on edge. I was also sleeping 5 hours every night, including on weekends, for 2 years, including on the year I'm describing. This intro I wrote forever ago, and I wanted to use so bad. Nobody in the waiting room, hospital or house of court. I'm alone. It's desolate. I'm not helped by anyone, or I'm not helped by enough people. In the big moments that matter, just growing up, I still find in the hardest moments it wasn't correct, the help that was given to me. I always wanted a father, and now you're dying in my arms. I love that line. I always wanted a father. Like, haven't you always wanted a father? Like, that's just, yeah, I definitely have. And I'm not describing a specific moment here. It's just wanting help and not getting it, and yeah, the the death of someone that's related to you, like, and that causing my own pain. then please, this violence is obscene. I'm trying to make a fucking scene for you, tell you what to do. It's about power, it's about reappropriation and just feeling like, you know, I like fuck you. Like I can be by myself. I can be okay. Like it's complicated because I just kind of sound rowdy and I kind of just sound like fuck off. But like I kind of am just being like that. Just this violence is obscene. Like the violence that's being committed to me is so beyond that I'm just struggling to wrap my head around it. I keep looking at the time. This video is long. Like you saw the timestamp, so like fuck you. Um, I'm trying to make a fucking scene. Like I didn't try to make scenes as a kid. I definitely didn't, but like in this song I am, that's for sure. And I'm telling you what to do. You know, I'm speaking to him, saying I'll tell you what to do. Like I'm reclaiming the power in that moment. And yeah, that first half of the chorus is just the violence is so obscene that you know I want to blow it up. I want to get the power back. But us, the comfort of our love, we get so reckless and so dumb. I'll cherish you to dusk. I think that this year for me, that one I'm talking about, when I was really young, was just so interesting because the more I was in danger and the more I was hurting, the more I reached out and the more the friend group I had at the time got close and what we had felt real and what we've had felt like a crutch, but like in a way that no friendship like before and after that kind of really has felt like because the degree to which I need people in my life is great, but that year was really quite it was different. The comfort of our love, we get so reckless and so dumb. I'll cherish you to dusk. And I'm taking a fun twist on, you know, the love that's given to me, the friendship we have, the closeness we have makes us unbeatable. Just makes me feel like I'm on top of the world. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. I'm continuing the train motif again. You told you it was there. Um, please mind that. Oh, and then this is. I think I told the girls this is the darkest lyric in my um, and please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Kind of doesn't mean much. I just want to act like a voice that's outside of myself. I want to act like that little voice you hear on the train. And there's train sounds going in the back of this song. Instrumentally, I ate. Um, I told my friend this is the darkest lyric I ever wrote because I'm describing myself killing my whole family and like feeling fine about it. Please mind that at the rate I'm going, I will have 4 bodies in the trash chute. Mom and dad and David. Um, David is my cat, looking straight up at you, secretly elated. So I'm like, in this scenario, um, if I keep going, I'm gonna have killed 4 people, which I don't know if the 4th person is myself or my sister. Um, Either way, I'm looking up at the dead bodies, the dead eyes, and they're looking at me, and or at least I believe they're looking at me because I'm going fucking crazy. And I think to myself, they're elated, they're over the moon, like they're just so happy to have been killed. So that's a little cuckoo. Um, thought that you could find. You can't really hear this one, but thought that you could find me. Thought that you could find me there. Just paranoia, feeling followed all the time. Again, this violence is obscene. I'm trying to make a scene for you, tell you what to do. We get but us the comfort of our love, like but us, you know, like please, this violence is obscene. Like it wasn't me causing all of it. Just like, please make it stop. But us, the comfort of our love. Like, we get so reckless and so dumb. I'll cherish you to dusk. Um, then please, this violence is obscene. It sounds like I'm made of a team. You can't really tell, but I'm made of bone. I'm made of bone. I'm with my team. I feel stronger, but stronger in like a animalistic, like human way, not really in like a beside myself way. I feel like I'm made of bone, you know, I'm with my team, like that's my homegirls. But us, we've got no one to become. We're just so motherfucking numb, fucking numb. I think we were all in dark spaces at the time. I think it was hard for all of us, and maybe a little harder, definitely harder for me, but we were all going through it, and we were there for each other. Got no one to become. We were just hopeless little kids. I mean, I don't know about, can't speak for everyone, but I was just a hopeless little kid, and I felt numb. I numbed myself out, but then this verse is so gorgeous to me. I never thought I needed you. I never thought I needed you so bad. So bad. I'm talking about my friends. But then I like changing the idea and being like, maybe I'm talking to him and being like, you're hurting me, but I never thought I needed you so bad. Um, then um, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. It's 6 a.m. Sorry, I gotta plug in the computer. You're on my carpet. Um, so the friend is on my carpet, you know? Like I'm not alone, as in the friends are here, but also I'm not alone as in there's someone in the house, someone quite bad who you can gather who that is. Um, and you're on my carpet, and you'd be here if he came looking for the target. So like, you know, I feel like I kind of have felt weird before about the way in which I have given people, but like I was just a kid, but like given people the responsibility like of being there for me in like unsafe moments. But that's just me being too nice, because like God knows I needed the help. So you'd be here if he came looking for the target. He will be here when he'll come looking for the target. I feel like it'll happen, and it did. It did. This violence is obscene. I'm trying to make a fucking scene for you, tell you what to do. I got the power. Um, then corny lyric incoming. Us, we're young and we're in love. We're in love. I was not in love. I was in friendship, but those are the same. This violence is a fucking drug to me and you. Like wow. Like yeah. I'm doing what he does. I'm like taking the bat from him and just being a little cuckoo girl. Yeah, so I'll cherish you to dusk. That's the last lyric. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Rachel in a dark room. Rachel, little girl from Life is Strange. She's gone through a lot of stuff. She was in a dark room. Do you remember the game Life is Strange? They're going through the files in the principal's office and they find this paper and it's just says scribbled on all over it. Rachel in a dark room, Rachel in a dark room. I'm like, Rachel, get out of there, babe. Turn did someone turn the light off in here? I can't see anything. That was Rachel. She could not see a thing. Um, Maybe she could. I don't know. Um, this is about. This is too personal. This is about the same era of my life. And at first, the song was called Untitled 5. And I just wanted to capture, like, again, the kind of like recklessness of youth and like that violence in it. And the crazy cookie vibes. Yes, girl. Um, back then, we were starved for any good, and we found it in each other, and we found it where we stood, where we stood. Would you believe me if I told you that we were, or I was a sad little kid? I think I felt more like the others were as sad as I was when really they were just a little emo because we were kids and I was more emo. Um, But I found it in them, and we found it where we stood. Like, you're just standing here, baby, find the good. Give me your best shot. Devilman crybaby. You know, I have a pattern of male friendships in my life ending poorly, and this is about one of them. Although, we kind of like reunited, so I don't know. Um, but Devilman Crybaby is an anime that he used to watch, and but also like Devilman Crybaby, like these men in my life did not eat all that danger all the time. Maybe we should have died instead. Oh, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Just that feeling. I think everyone can relate to it. Not everyone. Hopefully you can't relate to it. But it's like a feeling that's been described before. Just I guess survivor's guilt is what I was going through at the time, and I'm not over it. So that sucks. Then, um, I just say that again. Back then we were starved for any good, and we found it in each other, and we found it where we stood. I was scared, I was so scared, but you were there, you were right there. That's just spelling it out for you, babes. I was scared and you were there. Thanks, babes. Help me get out. You can see it come down. Hiding back at your house, where it really went down. Help me get out is what I repeat. Um, I'm asking for help. I'm going out on a limb here. You can see it come down. It is him, like the other, just coming down the stairs that we could see from the window, hiding back at his house. Um, where it really went down. Yeah, that sucks. That's no good. Run, run, run. He was right. He should have jumped under the tracks, except for her cries to never go back. Um, I was running. I was running through the streets, and he was chasing me, and he was threatening suicide, and he was right. He should have jumped under the tracks, except for her cries to never go back, because, I mean, my sister was, collateral, but more than that. Now I'm hiding in the corner shop. Now I'm hiding in the corner shop. Whatever at this point. Like, God forbid. If only I had doodle jump. If only I had cut the rope on my iPhone 5 to pass the time hiding in the corner shop. Trust I had doodle jump. I was just looking out the window, waiting for what came next. And he did come next, like 40 minutes after I sat down in that cafe. So that's crazy. I can hear him running psycho blocks like a crawler, like a great white shark. Baby, he was running psycho blocks. I remember writing down psycho cut because that's like a Pokemon move, and I was like, that's such a good lyric. And I just wrote psycho blocks. I had this be something else. All the buildings where I set the flame, sort of sadness I cannot refrain. And then originally I said, I just want to look at parks in peace and forgive all of the things in me, which was so beautiful, but I didn't include it because it didn't sound right and it wasn't the right fit for the song. But now I'm sleeping in the Reaper lane. Now I'm just like asleep, subconscious. I'm still feeling that danger, but not just danger. It's like Reaper, like just that closeness to death. I just want to look at. That's where it comes from. I just want to look at parks in peace. I just want to. Back then we were starved for any good, and we found it in each other, and we found it where we stood. Devilman Crybaby, feel you on the bed. Feel you on the bed. That does sound sexual, but it wasn't. But I don't know. Sleepovers have always for me been kind of like. There's a part of it where like that physical proximity as I fall asleep feels reassuring and wholesome and warm and all-encompassing. And I feel like a tweaker for it, but it's true, so fuck off. Then 4. So four's my good side, and 5's the bad one. So 5, picture I died. Rachel screaming. Ah! What does Jefferson say? The final dose won't hurt. Those little Life is Strange quotes I put in there. And then I died. That's what it felt like because it was too crazy. It was too much. And now, 4, I've ascended. I had made another song. I was gonna do this whole thing where it was like this beat and it goes like it's super complicated and it was like 4 4 5 4 6 4 just going up and up and up and it went like faster and faster and then it became like and it was like Jesus. Didn't do that. Boring. But I'm literally living on spare time. This year was the GOAT for me. I felt so good because it was like, oh my gosh, like, how am I still here? Just every little thing. I was like, this is beautiful. Wow, like, oh my gosh, like, I am so lucky to have this. Like, wow, like, just every little thing. I was so grateful for it. Sitting soundly, so sublime. A riveting upstairs. I'm in heaven, baby. I was riveted, painted nicely with love and care. I'm caring for myself. Time alone is time well spent. I was really focusing. I was honing in on myself, honing in. And honing I did. But a little too much, I think. The paranormal truth on myself and independent. It was just, actually, this is the only uplifting song. Actually, no, the verse is sad. Yeah, I just repeat that. I feel like I was living on spare time. I was just so lucky to be alive, and I felt like, everything that I had was incredible, and to a degree it was. Like, it really, really, really was. It was just, after such a difficult moment, it was kind of just like, I mean, it's not like I could put down my shoulders. It was a little less bad, and I just felt so lucky. And I'm describing like an upstairs, painted well, I don't know, painted walls. I'm sitting, and then upstairs, kind of like a waiting room thing. And yeah, I'm spending some time alone. And the paranormal truth, it's like so unbelievable that I could depend on myself, that I could just be with myself and be comfortable in that. but somehow it's the truth, you know, it's the paranormal truth, like the truth that I would have never ever expected. The freedom found in, but then I show the issue with it. The freedom found in discipline can only go so far. I feel like this is, I was really, when Conan Gray got into UCLA, I was like, I can do anything. I can do anything. Like, let me study real well for school. I was also almost like just almost kicked out of school, and then I was like, I gotta get back to work, gotta get on my grind. So I was trying to discipline myself so hard, but it could only go so far. Like, I still was super sad, low key, with my seaweed and my avocado sitting at the park. I was making myself lunch boxes every day. I woke up at like 6:30 and or like 6 and made myself food. I would made myself sushi, and it low-key sucked, but it was kind of yummy. Sitting in the park, love a park. I'm avoiding morning dew between the sky scraping the stars. It's peaceful, you know. It's lonely, but there's beauty to it. I'm not alone. I'm by myself. That's like the lyric that defines the song. Just seeing yourself as a presence that's to be appreciated and to be loved and to be spent time with and to be cared for, instead of, you know, seeing yourself just from your eyes and not seeing that, you know, you're talking to yourself all the time. That means you're talking to someone, you're talking to yourself. I don't know, just kind of appreciating that. But if I'm right here and I'm right now, then living's not that hard. If you're grounded enough, living's not that hard unless you're in actually a dire situation that I could never really understand. I mean, yeah, you get what I mean. Um, my foreshortened future matters less than Malabar's. Like, my feeling that I'm gonna die is just that doesn't mean anything anymore, because I can just live in the moment enough for to avoid that self-reflection, to avoid feeling what just happened. Matters less than Malabar's. Malabar's a little gum, just a little thing you'd have in the bottom of your pocket, just something kind of there. Um, that knowledge that I'm gonna die. It doesn't feel like a truth, just the knowledge that I'm gonna die soon. Um, in a bad circumstance, just knowing it, but feeling like, actually not feeling it. I want you looking straight at me, my face and all I found. I want you to see suddenly ascending from the ground. I want you to see me being more than that. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be defined by anything. I don't want to be traumatized or have PTSD, just all those big words. I don't want any of that. I want you to look at me and what I've made and what I found. And I want you to see, which was a bit unhealthy, but I want you to see suddenly ascending from the ground, the chlorophyll maneuvering, repenting without sound. Um, Repenting again is kind of like a, how much was I doing this healthily? Like, it's kind of like, what did I have to be ashamed of to be repenting for? And I'm picturing a plant, you know, maneuvering, the chlorophyll maneuvering to find the light, like, you know, the way in which a plant seeks it and finds it. Like repenting, making myself forgiven without complaining. To make me who I am today, dimensionally bound to stories, some which bore me, all of which tie up the hound. Um, you know, in order to make me who I am today, dimensionally bound to stories, some which bore me. I'll never really be separate from what's happened to me and what happens to me. That's just the way people work. Um, my stories, these little stories that I put in songs, which now sound fake and now sound stupid and now sound so far from what could ever happen, but they did. Some bore me, like, at the time I was definitely like, just bored of having gone through that much. It just felt like it was beyond me, you know. All of which tie up the hound. Just that dog in me. I got that dog in me. Warm showers for the comfort, for the sense of peace I found. If I'm very careful, I won't feel what really hurts. If I'm very careful, I won't feel what really hurts. Warm showers for that sense of peace I had found. It was short lived, but it was good. Um, if I'm very careful, I won't feel what really hurts. That's also kind of the lyric that defines the song. And then again, I'm living on spare time, sitting soundly so sublime, a riveting upstairs, painted nicely with love and care. I'm caring for myself, time alone is time well spent, the paranormal truth, on myself I can depend. Um, Now let's just do this one last song for the video. Gansfeld Experimenty. Now my inspiration for the last song for 7 was Cave Down, just generally like maybe Deary Peak because it's looking my favorite body of work of his, but I wanted to pay tribute to the indie that really got me through that time and helped me feel peaceful and grounded. And then Rachel in a Dark Room. I forgot what I was going for. Oh, and 5, I was thinking of that song by Sophie. Um, wait, what is it? Let me pull it up. And for Rachel in a Dark Room, kind of just the crazy rock vibes that are perfect. Perfect for me, perfect for you, perfect for all of us. Really, if you think about it. My happy playlist. It is. It's not Unisil. Why can't I find it? Oh my gosh, I feel so dumb. Oh my god, where is it? I'm so sorry. Oh, Not Okay Alone mix. Not Okay Alone mix. I really wanted to convey the energy that the element of sound she used in that. Rest in peace, Sophie. Conveyed. I was really in awe of that. So yeah, 5. That's what I was inspired by. Rachel in a Dark Room. I don't particularly remember. Just rock, just something rock. And then Gansfeld Experiment was heavily inspired by Runaway by Mars Argo, which I remember listening to in that old house, in the bathroom, alone, crying, feeling so trapped, feeling like I could never be outside of myself. And this is one of the songs where I definitely use a story that's separate from me to swallow the pill more easily. Um, the Gansfeld experiments or old like 20th century American experiments where it's kind of like that thing in Stranger Things where they were trying to like get some spies to have like psychic powers and to like see the Russians from a tub where they had like all their senses were dulled down, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I'm just picturing like, oh, being in a sensory deprivation tank stuck at the bottom of a very, very deep bunker and describing my experiences feeling trapped. But it's definitely like this one's like definitely just more of a story, but of course inspired from that real sensation. So put your hands above the cupboard and your feet below the door. Picture that, like hands above the cupboard and feet below the door. Just such an uncomfortable position in a house. The domestic environment, which does not belong to me. The door, which would slam shut on your spicy little toes. You turn the tiles green wearing nothing like a whore. What can I say? Misogyny, shaming of the body, the house, the apartment, the bathroom with the tiles, which were blue, not green. You is me in this situation, or just from the voice of someone else. I'm in a room where no one can see me. I'm afraid that I need you to believe me. I need you to break me out of here. Just the way I yell it almost. I'm in a room where no one can see me. It's like, yeah, I'm struggling, babes. I'm not doing good. I need you to break me out of here. I need. I'm afraid. Yeah, I need help. And then here's me talking about myself a little. Always so mature. Always so aware. Always under. Always unprepared. Just being like disgruntled by the strength that I've had to have, or what I've been described as, and yeah, just still feeling trapped within that. And then in the chorus, the plot goes that I'm in a car crash, so I'm confined to your vanity, your car. So I'm trapped in the car, and in your narcissistic vanity, in your like grand self-talk, your insanity, your char. So the char is like burning, and your insanity. So he crashes the car, and there we are burning. And then there's an explosion noise, and then it goes, I'm confused, I'm crawling on the floor, depraved of wanting more. So I'm crawling on the floor after the car crash, and I'm not letting myself want more. Um, just through abuse and through everything that's happened, I've definitely struggled to have motivation and to want more for myself. And so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Then this verse is inspired by Phoebe Bridgers. I'm a lost cause. You were driving back south. All the signs are pointing north, but my feelings are on soft lock. I'm a lost cause. You're driving me somewhere. You're driving me there. That's this kind of like earlier in the story. And you know, the painful memory of going, like feeling like I'm walking into the mouth of the wolf. That's a French saying, but like just knowing I'm going into danger. You were driving back south. All the signs are pointing north. Like through travel, especially, like we're heading to somewhere where something bad happens, and I can't turn around. My feelings are on soft lock. I'm not letting myself feel it. And soft lock is like a term for when it's glitching in a video game and it just kind of repeats itself, like my feelings now, and then were not connected to what was happening in the present moment. They were glitching. With a bird in your mouth and the sound of your voice, you left me there raw odd. A bird, I'm picturing a colombe, like that, a dove, that the symbol of freedom that was leaving your mouth, like just that bullshit that you're speaking, but in this more like trapped state, I'm believing it and looking at it like from this twisted way, that with a bird in your mouth. Oh, also, Raise Me Up Mississippi South by Lana Del Rey, when she talks about ascending on that car ride with a bird in his mouth. I was thinking of that. And the sound of his voice, you left me there raw odd. Um, odd is connected to the part after that, but odd because you spoke of grandeur and you spoke of peace, and obviously I didn't always know it was false, and that's where it really hurts. But so far underground, Maimonides with the doctors abound. Ha! Maimonides is the place in the U.S. I don't know how it's pronounced, probably like that, maybe not. Where the Gansfeld experiments took place. About 200 beds, medical center with nobody fed. Here I'm describing medical abuse. Why not? Let's just say they had the Gansfeld experiments and didn't feed anyone. Maybe that happened. Couldn't tell you, pal. Could not tell you. I made that up. But just picturing myself in a medical center where everyone's separated and everyone's separated from each other and responsible, like a doctor is responsible for each patient, and it's like being taken care of, but yeah, medical malpractice going on here. All Maimonides patients, I feel bad for you. Again, always so mature, always so aware, always I endure and always unprepared. I'm confined to your vanity, your car, your insanity, your char. Boom, car explodes. I'm confused. I'm crawling on the floor, depraved of wanting more. Then, oh, this is way more anecdotal and way more personal. Oh, how much I wish I was staying at your house tonight. I'd be your little bitch and you would turn off all the lights. This is like more, like in this context, it's like about him and like about how deep down, like the kind of the Stockholm syndrome of it all, like, oh, like, you know, wish you could just take me back there and hurt me again. It would feel better than what comes next. It gets so exhausting having just nowhere to go. At the laundromat, I'm sleeping. I'm so jealous of your home. But this is actually a friend of mine, like that I'm talking about, like, which that's not good for that to be out there. But you know, just I wish I could just find it again. Feeling trapped doesn't end when he ends. Feeling trapped ends when I am healed enough, which is a long way down the road right now. But I wish I was staying at someone's house and, you know, I'd be a little bitch and I couldn't see anything. He would turn off the lights. I think because it gets so exhausting having just nowhere to go. I've slept at the laundromat before, and I've been very jealous of people's homes. And it's just so exhausting to it's way more exhausting to me to have to figure out what to do with myself than to just be in pain because of someone else sometimes. Like, I've thought before, I would die for my job to be like being manipulated or like going through emotional manipulation, like if that was my job, because I've gotten good at it and it feels so comfortable. So there's always that. I'm always so mature and always so aware, always I endure and always unprepared. I'm confined to your vanity, your car, your insanity, your char. I'm stuck in that car, you're speaking your shit, you're crazy, you're burning the car, you're crashing it, it's exploded, I'm crawling on the floor, and I won't let myself want more. Hey, I'm back. I just had dinner. Short break. I know this video is very convoluted and I don't know. I don't know how much I condone the quality of this, but good enough. Also, I'm not like fun enough today. I'm too informational, but like this is just for safekeeping's sake. I feel like this is important enough to just be posted somewhere somehow, like, written down, not written down, but just it's easier to just say it and post a long thing. I know no one will watch this, but just for myself, I feel like it's a more complete story to tell. So this next one, Boiling Metal, I wrote when I was and I made entirely when I was like cramming for this exam, and I was like procrastinating so bad, and I wanted to make something good enough that like it gave me an excuse to not work, because I was like, this song is so beautiful, this song is so important. I have to I have to make it good, and I made it so good. I wish I had like the guitar thing for it. Like, I don't know like the chords to the guitar I played, but I love it so much. And it's about yearning. It's about like aching. It's quite slow, but also a little angsty. It goes, everything's my choice, and I make none. That's about like procrastinating and feeling like I'm beside myself. Like, just I could do anything. But the overwhelming, crushing feeling of feeling like you can do anything, because then I do nothing, and then it just makes me so much more guilty and ashamed. Everything is done, everything's set in place. Just feeling like I'm an outsider to like looking into my life. Like, yeah, everything is set in place. There's not actually much I can do. And then I wrote this part about one friend of mine. But maybe one day you'll finally change. Set your index finger in the simple boiling metal. It's part of like a greater poem I wrote about like him going down a an elevator a long way, and then being at the bottom of this like huge train station all alone, and then he places his finger on the bar of like the like rail thing like on the side of the stairs, and then the whole thing collapses, and it's all like boiling molten metal that like, and all the walls collapse. um so I just picture him one day changing and setting his finger in the simple boiling metal, meaning finally accepting his queerness or his weirdness. I feel like I've had so many friends, especially guys, that like are on the outskirts of like weirdness, but are still like accepted to society and cling on to that part of themselves that's like acceptable and like, digestible. And I'm like and I get insecure, and I get like, and then I feel inferior, like I'm the weird one, and they just like accept me, and like it should be inherently like a compliment that they're like willing to be friends with me because I'm some sort of freak, um because of my presentation and compared to theirs. But that's just an inferiority complex, and that's just me projecting. See you on the news, dying by the pews. I didn't know what pews meant, but then Chloe Frances wrote this song that's off Spotify, and it makes me so upset because it's also a poem from the gorgeous, gorgeous poetry collection that I love, Cherry Tomato, and talks about, I sat at the pews watching the adults move. I was asking very nice. I'm quoting them. I was asking very nicely in a quite pathetic manner to be forgiven, to be forgiven, to be forgiven. Um, like so, just sitting at the pews like that kind of just spoke to me. And so I'll see you like on the pews, like see you there at church, like sitting on those seats, and um, I'll see you like dead, and then I say I'll still want you because um sometimes yearning can just cross anything. I use like religion. I hate I hate a corny like use of religion as like a image, but in here I use like church as like something to belong to that the other belongs to and I don't. And yeah, I'll still want you when you're dying because you're refusing to leave what hurts you. Um then the verse, you were swimming in the church's fountain while my worthless water body was outdone. This is about a different friend, but continuing the same theme that I've had in my life. He had a fountain, a church with a fountain right by his house, and yeah, I just picture him swimming in it, you know, like bathing in the acceptance, bathing in the normalcy of his own life, while my worthless water body was outdone. Like my body was comparable to that body of water. Like he could have bathed in mine, but it was outdone and it was worthless because I'm not the church's. My body is my own body of water, not the church's. I never quite suited you right. Suit, kind of like a double entendre with like, you know, wearing a suit. You love to smoke a lot and you love to be polite. Like, you know, we all have our vices and like when you do it, it's cool and like you can like get into like you'd pass at any interview and you're like super charismatic and you're very polite, but you do the same shit. It just passes off easier when like some random boring straight white guy does something. Um, but I'm alive, never not at night. As in like I wake up at night, like I thrive in the dark. Running from a lot, it's a computer in a tie. This lyric is like a reference to Flash Memory Drive, that other album, because there's a computer on it, and so I'm running from the computer, the trauma, and the tie, the sense of normalcy that's like almost choking me out, like a tie that's on too tight. Chewing on my jewelry to try and make it right. Um, just doing anything, just being bitter and hurting my teeth because I'm not. It makes me less okay with being weird, like to try and make it right with this person. Never gave a fuck. You want acceptance and a prize. Like I think it's hard for someone that's like really part of the majority to make you feel understood, or at least make me feel understood. And I just feel like he wanted, you know, he wanted acceptance and a prize. Like he wanted a prize for, like, made me feel like a bit of a charity case. Like, but a lot of people do. Then that's just my issue. And then again, maybe one day I'll finally change. Set your index finger in the simple boiling metal. I'll see you on the news dying by the pews and I'll still want you. I've made like so many songs about this one, like Bloodshot 1 and 2. So many songs about this one topic or kind of one person, but also just this topic. And it's a big thing for me that I've had to get over, but like it's fine. Excuse the outfit change. I was too warm. Okay, 10 years old. 10 years old, such a banger. I started off with just the guitar. I wanted to make something good on electric guitar. And I was getting a lot of anger out, I think. But my anger is always quite subdued. And yeah, it's definitely one of my most confrontational songs. I started off with the guitar and just made that intro that I love so much. That's just so sweet. And it was just an instrumental for a bit, and I showed it to Julian, and we loved it. And I, I think I was inspired by Souvlaki by Slowdive quite a lot. And then for the verse in the middle, I really wanted to feature until I like really wrote the song, and then I was like, this I can't have someone else singing on this. But then I wanted to illustrate that sense of like amnesia and like how I'm missing part of the story. Like I can only say so much, but a lot of it is my mind being filled up by something else. So yeah, I was 10 years old in your violent years. Now I'm barely just surviving. Actually, only Julian knows this, but now you all do. This song was originally about this this teacher that I was obsessed with and wanted to be friends with, but I was like, it's not fair that he's like a couple years older, so we don't get to be friends. And originally, I wrote, I was 10 years old in your high school years. Now I'm barely just surviving. And it was part of like a way longer poem. But then when I wrote that and I recorded it, it just sounded like grooming. It just sounded like, what? It just didn't tell a story that was true or like true enough or like, it just sounded too specific. It's like, what? And I don't like just taking those three lines from that poem makes it sound like it's something that it wasn't. Um, but yeah, I was 10 years old in your violent years is obviously about my childhood and my abuse. And yeah, I think that it's just quite confrontational. It's very straightforward. It's just straight to the point. It's really hard living after it, but I also I like saying it like that because like I just happened to be 10 years old in your violent years. Like I'm sure it hurts to say, but I'm sure things weren't always the same for him, and I'm sure things weren't always the same for me. But I guess I'm just phrasing it as like I got unlucky and wrong place, wrong time. 10 years old in your violent years. It's not fair a situation. It's not. It's it's really not. I'm just always struggling to make peace with it and to really face it. So I'm just saying it. Now I'm barely just surviving. And then ooh, and then so the clips are from Shameless. Um, if I remember well, the first one is Fiona and Fiona and Frank, her daughter, and they're arguing about something. And then the second one is about it's Jeremy Allen White as Lip and Fiona again. They're siblings, and it's in a moment in season one where Monica, their mom that's very absent, had had come back almost for a little bit and taken over, and Fiona had trusted her. It's not that she had trusted her, but she almost like gave up, and she was like, you know what, if you want to start taking care of these kids all over again, here, have the keys. And then Lip is yelling at her because he says, you know, she took all the squirrel fund money. The first rule you learn this in this house, you hide the goddamn money. Um, and it's a moment where just Fiona has to face again the disappointment of your parent, like just failing you. A moment where Monica could have been better and wasn't. And I just really wanted to illustrate that. I wanted to have a sense of like adults yelling because they are grown ups by that point, and I wanted it to sound distant and like just some weird echo, some distorted echo, because that's almost what was going on in my mind. Or like if I try to look back, it's almost just what I can hear, like grown ups in the other room yelling, um, or to me, but that's different. And then there's a moment. Actually, it's funny because there was an audio on TikTok that went viral that goes, "I was 9 and taking care of you, taking care of all of us," and that's Fiona to Frank in like season 9 or something, where she's just like yelling to him, and I put that in, and then I had to get rid of it, so I just put a thing from earlier in that scene because it went viral on TikTok while I was making the song. Thank God not after. I was like, this is too on the nose. I don't want people to think or to recognize it from TikTok. But if it sounds familiar, that might be why. Because then there was edits of it with like poo or like Tamagotchis just being like, I was taking care of you. But yeah, Fiona yelling at Frank for his failure, and then there's Mickey saying like Ian's boyfriend saying, so we hide the knives, and then Fiona says that's impossible, and then he says, don't fucking tell me what's impossible. A moment where Ian, one of the siblings, was going through like a manic episode, and or maybe it was because he's bipolar, like depressive or manic, one of the two, and then Fiona's like that, like we're just trying to help him, like trying to help Mickey take care of Ian, saying what to do because he's too depressed and suicidal, and Mickey's not being receptive to it. And then at the end of that little part, there's a quote that says, I thought it would be different this time, and that's what echoes, and that's what I also put in later, because that's kind of what I wanted to be to take away from that, like that pain of thinking it's going to be different this time, because that just shows up in so many different ways, and that never is really over. Thinking it's going to be different that time. I think most people in my situation will relate. There's just always that side of you, that inner child or whatever you call it, that's like, you know, has a bit of hope, but shouldn't, and it hurts the most. And then again, it's not fair a situation. I was 10 years old in your violent years. Now I'm barely just surviving. I was 10 years old in your violent years. Now I'm barely just surviving. And then the outro is definitely my favorite part of the song. Although I do think I should re-record the vocals because I think they don't match up well enough, and my vocals in it are kind of mid. But good enough, close enough. It's definitely the most intelligent part of the song, and one of my favorite moments of the album. I go, everybody knew, but nobody cared. And I repeat that like 3 times. I'll ponder on it till I am losing all my hair. Like, another big pain about it is the failure of adults around you who were aware of the situation but failed to do something good enough about it. Because in my mind, the way I see it is childhood trauma is not just the failure of 2 parents, it's the failure of a community. And I think children are a privilege, not a right, and that if a parent is failing to take care of their child, that's either because of like that is usually, I think, because of their needs not being met in one way or another. And I think that societally we all have a responsibility to children, and I think that the children are some of the, or maybe the most underprotected like citizens in the world, in every situation, in every category. Like, a child has so few rights, and it took me so long to get my way, because when you're a kid, people don't believe you. And I made this song at like 17, but that doesn't change that for years the same thing was going on. It was just adults around me just not listening, not being receptive, because a parent is, good enough at hiding something that means nothing's going on. And it's a big pain, because today still, like, with just with other adults in my life, like older adults that are more, that are like could be figures of guidance, just I find myself disappointed that they're not. Just, yeah. And just thinking of like me as a kid, like trying to reach out for help, and the help not being there, that just pains me, because how many kids actually reach out, and then just it's kind of like with, I mean, weird to it's weird to make a link, but how many like women reach out about sexual assault and then nothing gets done about it? You know what I mean? Like, only so few will reach out, and then even fewer will be heard, and that is a different kind of pain. So I'll ponder on it till I'm losing all my hair. The hair is like that's kind of TMI, but there's like I've been around people who, like, due to different mental conditions, like, tear out their hair, and I feel like sometimes I am so consumed by the memories and like just the pain of like feeling like everybody knew but nobody cared, that like one day I'll be in their shoes, and that scares me. But also just until I grow old, like upon like that's something you never get over. That's like that'll always be my childhood, and that'll sadly never be something I can change. But I try to look beyond that and to not be too grim. So then everybody knew but nobody cared. I got to see more subtlety. It's not always so unfair. Um, yeah, it's not always so unfair. Like the things are complicated, and that's what I'm doing. Trying not to fully de-responsibilize the people that were care like had to care for me, but still being like, yeah, it's a failure of a community. Um, it's complicated. Like people do their best. Like everyone just tries to do their best in any scenario, but I guess it just didn't pan out that well for me. Um, and then I go higher. Everybody knew, nobody cared. And then my voice breaks, but whatever. Now I know that it was real. Paralyzed here while you stared. It's like through like by the end of the song, and after having faced it that much, and after having felt all this, now I know that it was real. Like now I can believe myself a little more. Um, and I'm still paralyzed here while you stared. Like the sentence is in past tense, but I mean it kind of like the first part in present tense and the second part in past tense. Like I'm in this room that he never stepped foot in, but I'm still paralyzed, and he's stared once, and he is forever staring in my mind. And then the end of the song is like the climax and what it all means. Everybody knew, but nobody cared. Do you see me? Do you care? It's like that's what the whole song kind of like means outside of myself, because why am I making such an intimate song? Why am I saying this now in this video? Like I think I think grief is complicated and it shows up in different ways, but I think part of why, you know, releasing this and posting this has been fulfilling and a little cathartic is because, I mean, mostly close friends and very close relatives will uh, just close friends will listen to it, let alone hear the lyrics. That's like another level. That's like maybe 5 people total. So that's like comfortable enough. But at the core, what motivates me to release something like this, like obviously it's for myself and for me to be able to listen to it just on my phone, and for it to be easy, and for me to reflect on, that it's cool. It's a different level of reflection once you've made something about like where you are reflecting, to then reflect some more by listening to it after. But there's kind of a level on which maybe I'm being too self-critical, but I feel that I am wanting to be seen in this way through this song. And it's like by the end of it, do you care? Like maybe there's also a little bit of that in there. Just trying to be seen, trying to be heard in some way. Then New Blue Pants is another song about abandonment, a song about yearning that